Hi, this is Mitch, and welcome to Neighbors Cooking. Last time we closed the episode out, I told you we were going to be moving into a new kitchen, and we have. This is my new kitchen. I'm really excited to be using it. It's a pretty kitchen. Not as quite as open counter space as before, but it'll still serve our purpose. So what are we going to be cooking today? Today we're cooking chicken Diane. Now many of you have probably heard of it called steak Diane, where you go into a fancy restaurant and they bring out a nice sirloin or a filet mignon and they tableside cook it for you. Just give you lots of that sizzle and glitz and glamour at a restaurant and charge you about 50 bucks for it. So we're going to do what's called chicken Diane, which is a little bit easier using chicken, a little bit more in your budget, and it's super easy to do. It's going to take you about 40 to 50 minutes, and in the end you'll have about an 800 calories per dish meal to serve up. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to tell you about the ingredients that you're going to need. So come over here. You're going to need about two potatoes for each person that you're serving. So I'm serving 2 tonight, myself and my friend Stephen. So we're going to have 2 potatoes. So I just washed and diced up 2 red potatoes with the skins on. You can peel them if you like. I like skins on. A bundle of green beans that have been cleaned and the sides have been cut off so they're nice and even. About 6 ounces of cremini mushrooms. You're also going to have a shallot cut up into chopped pieces. We have about a cup of heavy whipping cream. We have some cooking sherry. And we have some chicken stock or chicken demi-glace, which is, I've explained to you in a lot of my shows we use demi-glace. I buy it from the grocery store in packets like this. And so it comes with beef. This happens to be beef. It comes with beef and chicken. And you can buy them in the stores. There's quite a bit when you open one up. So when you use it, don't throw it away, save it, put it into a container, because there's a whole lot of it in there. You don't need a lot, but it adds great flavor to whatever you happen to be cooking. We're also going to be using a strainer, a baking dish covered in tin foil, because you know I hate to clean, and 3 pots, potatoes, green beans, and cooking the chicken. So once you get all of your ingredients pulled together, you're going to also need olive oil and salt and pepper. Remember, we have all of this on the website. Just click below for the ingredients or the recipe, and it'll take you right to that link. So don't panic about having to write it down right now. So we're going to go ahead and get started in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to get the oven hot and the pans going, and we'll be back to see you. Hi, welcome back. So as I've told you, half of the work that you do when you're cooking is your prep time. So we've got everything prepped up. The first thing with this recipe is you want to turn your oven on to 425 and preheat it, because that's going to cook the chicken the rest of the way through once we sear it. So we're going to go ahead and take some olive oil. Now I was shopping at Trader Joe's yesterday and they had this great President's Label olive oil for $7. You can't beat $7 for some good quality olive oil. So you're going to put your olive oil in the pan and get it hot. It even came with this cute little stir pourer. So we're going to get that hot, and then we're going to season our chicken. Just a little bit of salt and pepper on top. And it looks like my little buddy Gomez came in to have a look. What you doing in here, Gomez? So we're going to just go ahead and get that seasoned. This is chicken with the bone in. Now the reason I'm using bone in is because it allows for so much flavor when you're cooking chicken. When the bone's out, you get a far less flavorful dish. So olive oil hot, skin down, and we're going to go ahead and let those sear for about 7 minutes, maybe tops on that side. While that's going, I've got my pot of boiling water going for the potatoes. Potatoes need about 10 minutes to cook in boiling water, so I salted that water up and we're going to put the potatoes into it. Remember, part of getting your meal ready is that it all comes out at the same time and you can put it hot on a plate. So you don't want to have something that only takes a minute to cook, like the clean beans, already done, when you've got all this other prep work to do. So while that's going, let's talk about your green beans. I went to the farmer's market and picked these up. You can also pick them up in your grocery store, of course, but you want them fresh. You don't want frozen. And you're just going to grab them together, put them on your cutting board, cut them off so you've got nice even ends. It's a nicer presentation on your plate. Or you can snap them also, or you can cut them in half. I was watching a special on the Queen of England the other day, and her chef actually cuts these up into bite-sized pieces so she doesn't have a full looking mouth when she's eating her food. So the things they do for the queen. I'd love to be her. Anyways, so while we've got this chicken searing, potatoes boiling, oven turned up to put that chicken in when we're done, and we're going to come back and we're going to put all the ingredients together that will go on top of this chicken. So we'll be back in 2 inches. Hi, welcome back. We've got our chicken cooking and I just turned it over while we were on the break, so I want to have you take a look at how brown we get it. So that's what's nice about having the skin on, is you can get this nice brown look. All right? So we're going to take these and we're going to transfer them onto our dish. And we're going to put those in the oven, which is preheated to 425. And we're just going to go ahead and let those cook for about 15 minutes. Now while that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and finish up the sauce that goes on the actual steak chicken Diane. We're just going to add a little bit of butter to the pan we already had. Kind of deglaze it a little bit. We're going to add a tad bit more olive oil. And we're going to put in our mushrooms first. And we're going to let those sweat a little bit. Now by sweating, I mean cooking them down. You're going to pull some of that moisture out and let some of the flavors that were in this pan absorb into these mushrooms. You're not trying to get them super soft. Right now you're just trying to start the process, because as they continue to cook they will get softer. So you don't want to have really super limpy mushrooms. Oops. And it would always help if you turn your stove back on. There we go. Now there's a lot of varieties of mushrooms. I like cremini because they're more meaty and they've got a more powerful flavor versus the regular little white mushrooms that you might buy in the grocery store. They seem kind of bland to me. You can also use porcini. Any of the browner, firmer mushrooms will work in this recipe, so whichever you prefer. You can also use a few different mushrooms and combine them all together, and that would add nicely to the flavor. So with this recipe there's a lot you can do differently that's on your own. You could also replace the chicken for pork if you wanted. So you got a pork loin and cut it into some nice slices. You could do pork loin with this recipe. The sauce would go very nicely with it. You could even do steak. You would just give steak or beef demi-glace instead of chicken demi-glace when you're finishing it up. All right? So here we have our mushrooms just cooking very nicely. Now the next thing we're going to add into that is our onion, or it's nicely chopped. And we're going to let that onion cook down and into the sauce also. As you can see, the potatoes are boiling, and they'll probably be done. You can tell when a potato is done just by sticking a fork in it. So if you just take a fork and it goes in easily, which these don't yet, almost. So when you can put it in the pan and pull out, they're almost done. It depends on how much you like your potatoes to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? When we're mashing them, smooth or lumpy. So some people like lumpier mashed potatoes, others don't. One of the other things I forgot to tell you was we're going to add sour cream into these mashed potatoes also. You don't have to, but a lot of people like sour cream in their mashed potatoes. So those are almost done. We've got this doing really nicely. And when we come back, we're going to go ahead and put the final ingredients in for the sauce, throw the green beans in, and get this meal put together. So we'll see you back in just a second. Is that on the whole time? Welcome back. Oops. Hi, welcome back. Well, we're about ready to finish up this sauce that's going to go on top of our chicken. So we're going to go ahead and get the last three parts of our ingredients. Now remember, this cream that we're using, you're going to use half in the sauce and you're going to use half in the potatoes, so don't pour it all into the sauce. If you want a little bit more sauce, you can. The next thing we're going to add is this red wine sherry. That's going to help to glaze the pan even more with all those flavors that are in there. Smells amazing. Let that cook down just a little bit. So as you can see, we're starting to get a solution of mushrooms and onions and a nice sauce going. We're then going to add our mustard, which you can see just a little bit. Tablespoon, not a whole lot. You can add a little bit more mustard. You can add grainy or mustard if you'd like, or you can just use regular. This is Dijon. We're going to add the chicken demi-glace, which again is about 3 tablespoons. You can see it's super thick. We're just going to add that into it. And the last thing we're going to add is the remainder of the cream. Or half the cream, I should say. So you're going to add that in. Save half of it for the potatoes. And stir it. Now, it should have a nice, it should kind of be a little bit thick, but not too thick. You're just cooking it down a little bit. Remember, sauce isn't supposed to just fill the plate up or cover the meal. It's supposed to be an added benefit. So when you're cooking this, if you can take your spatula and you can go through it and it parts like that, you know that it's ready. Kind of like parting of the Red Sea. All right? Hopefully not. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. And then we're going to get to our baked potato, our potatoes. Now I'm able to stick a fork through these pretty well, so they're pretty soft. They're breaking apart as I do it. So we're going to go ahead and strain those. Put the pan back onto the stove, put some butter in. Let it melt up a little bit. And you're just going to put your potatoes right back in the same pan that you took them in. Use a potato masher. That's I like to use. If you don't, use a blender or whatever you like to use. But the potatoes should smash really easily. Like I said, I like the skins on mashed potatoes. So you want to break them down before you start adding sour cream and the cream. You want to break them down because you want to see how much moisture is still in them before you start adding everything else. Otherwise you end up with really runny mashed potatoes. So we're going to add the rest of that cream that we had from the sauce. And a little bit of sour cream. And if you guys remember what some of the other shows I did, we've used carrots to make mashed potatoes or carrot potatoes. We've used cauliflower to make a form of mashed potatoes, which are really good. So you just blend that all down, turn your heat off. Now the thing with mashed potatoes is you always have to taste them. See what they need for spice. A little bit of salt and pepper. And that's going to about do it. We may add a little bit more cream right here at the end or some sour cream, but we're going to go ahead and let that sit there. And we're going to bring our green beans up. Green beans cook really quickly. You just put them into your boiling water. And you're more or less blanching them. You don't cook green beans for more than maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So while those are cooking, we're going to finish up dressing the mashed potatoes. The chicken will be done when we come back, and we'll put it all together and on a plate for you. So we'll see you in just a minute. All right, we're back, and boy does the kitchen smell good. So we're going to go ahead and put this all together on a plate. Remember, half of your cooking experience is how you serve it. If you serve it all sloppy on a plate, it's not nearly going to taste as well or as good as if you actually put some time into putting your plate together. So we're going to go ahead and start off, and we're going to put our mashed potatoes. Now, I know it seems a bit, but we're going to put the mashed potatoes in the center here. I like to use something that gives them a little bit of form. The measuring cup looks great. Plus, you don't want to give anybody more than about a half a cup of mashed potatoes. The next thing we're going to do is pull the chicken out of the oven. Looks delicious. And we're going to go ahead and plate that. So let me. Going to get a little bit right there, and a little piece right here. We're going to strain these green beans out. Put a few green beans on the plate behind. And then you're going to finish it off with the sauce that we made. And just kind of drizzle it up in the middle in here, let it will fall. And there you have it, Chicken Diane. I hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure and put some comments in the website. I appreciate all of you following us. Click if you like this, and be sure and tell your friends about it. Again, that's Cooking with Neighbors. My name's Mitch. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you next time in the kitchen.